Okay. I think this works. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please give me a minute to connect my headphone.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to connect my
That's
headphone.
fine.
Let's put this guy here. Okay. Can you speak now? Let me see if I can hear you.
Yeah. Hello, hello. Bumping. Can you hear me?
This is lagging. I can hear you, but it's lagging. Let me use a cable.
Okay.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Oh, yeah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. For the Lord. So I'm just coming from the gym. I had to like even rush up. I will try to go early, try to come back early.
Oh, it's
So
fine. No problem. Okay.
okay.
So we are live actually. Soon more people will be joining. So maybe we just give it about 2, 3 minutes. Then let me send this to my status.
Okay, I should be able to hear you clearly now.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I mean, I can hear you, but not on my phone. Sorry. Yeah. So I should be able to hear you clearly now.
Okay, okay. So we already have people
Hello.
joining. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, so this link is the link I shared to people, right? The link you sent to me.
No, 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 no. Let me just forward. Let me just forward. I also have done that. Sorry. So I've sent to you. The
This is
one I
only for
sent you
women
is
now.
anyone can join. It's a workshop. It's online. It's live. Anybody can join us.
Okay, no problem.
All right. So good evening.
Good evening.
So let's start. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to Women in DeFi's workshop, our monthly workshop. And yes, this is the first for the month, and we're bringing you a very hot topic that is very necessary for this time and age and for the year. Like for as long as we are alive, we need all of what we're going to be discussing today. And then we have someone who I've watched grown in the space come to talk to us about it. I've watched his growth and it's been so amazing. So it was one of the first set of people that came to mind when we brought about this topic. So before then, I should introduce myself and then I've already done a slight introduction, but I'll still give him the opportunity to introduce himself, how he wants to be introduced. So I am Victory, just as you can see on your screen. I'm the integration specialist for WID and also your host for today's workshop. And the topic, as we can all see, is positioning yourself as a content creator in the Web3 space. And with me here is OJ, who have been opportune to tutor in one of academies aside, not Women in DeFi. You know, we all know Women in DeFi is for females. And yes, I've watched him grow. I've even been disturbing him, though I've not just gone to meet him for tips and ideas on content creation, video specifically. So we have him here today to be able to share us some how fast that would help us going forward as females, not just females, any other persons that are here. Why am I saying like we have more than two genders? Anyway, yeah, like I'm saying, for both males and females, but we want that we'll have more females here. So over to you, OJ. Please introduce yourself formally. I've given the Web3 kind of introduction for you, but you have the floor now.
Okay. GM everybody. My name is OJ and I am a I'd like to call myself a content strategist because I really do not like the name content creator. It makes it feel like I'm doing comedy. So my name is OJ. I'm a content strategist and a visual specialist. So basically, I try to do or talk about or make things easier through visual storytelling, basically for Web3 brands, even beyond Web3. because I've been trying to expand beyond Web3 in this past couple of days. So that's basically what I do, and it's really a privilege to be here. I'm really excited and grateful to be here. Thank you for having me.
Even without him introducing himself, if people can see difference in our camera settings, look at how I look like
No,
one big
no, no,
old
please
mama
don't do that.
with my camera. There is no light. I'm just trying to use my dark light. And then OJ, why did you turn off your camera? He's setting
I'm
his
coming. Please give me a minute. I'm going
feeling
to
so
turn it
jealous
on.
right now. I'm feeling so jealous right now. He has turned it off, but it should be back soon. Probably it's light or something. So
Just
like
discover.
a minute or two. That's fine, right? Okay, so
I
while
just
we're waiting
discovered
for
I wore my clothes inside out. I'm so sorry. I was
all
trying
right,
to
no
rush and
problem.
make sure I was not late. So I had to
All
quickly
right, no
just change
problem.
that.
So while we're waiting for him, we are going to see his camera display and all that, and we're going to see the vast difference, and you know for sure why. Uh, you know for sure that the reason behind choosing him, the reason behind choosing him, of course, is because he knows his onions and all that. So yes,
Yeah, I can.
yes, I can hear you. Awesome. So, like I was saying about his, look at the setting, look at the lightning. Then compared to me, you obviously know that I really don't know anything related. I want to learn. I want to, at least I have chair. That's the starting point. Okay.
No, your chair
Now
is better
let's.
than mine. Your chair is a Fuji.
He's old anyway, but it's a starting point. It shows that I have interest in getting into the game. Anyway, so time is not by our side, and we want to finish this strictly 8 p.m. or a few minutes before 8 p.m. So we have to go to the order of the day. So I have just a few questions to ask OJ, then he would have the floor to himself. So he has introduced himself. I have also introduced myself. So I just have a few questions. So one of the first questions is what has kept you going since you joined the Web3 space? Because there's been moments where, in fact, this time we know a lot of people have not really been active in Web3. We know that. We know that. There are some of my friends that will tell you that when I get to active, oh, I've not seen you tweet or do one or two. Oh, there's nothing again. There's nothing there and all that. So what has kept you going? What has made you consistent so far ever since you got to know about it, you started, and here you are today? So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. I hope everybody can hear me. All right. Can you hear me? Am I audible enough?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
All right. So basically, what kept me going? So first off, uh, I joined Web3 in 2021. Really, not even because I wanted to go into content creation, but because I had the knack for trading the financial markets. Then down the line, I've always had the passion for creating content and videos, not really content as say, but videos and that and cinematography. A couple of days ago, let me say a day before yesterday, I was just reminiscing or trying to remember what I was doing when I was young. I remember trying to use my then Nokia phone to try to create a disappearing scene. It's been a while. I remember that. Remembering that now felt like, oh wow. So I was trying to look at what has really kept me going in creating content, basically, and before even pushing to the Web3 space. And I discovered that, oh, actually, I really loved to do this. I really loved to do this stuff. So it's not even because of the opportunities in the space. It's basically because of what I love. I didn't study that in school, but I just found out like, okay, this is what I love, and this is why I've been consistent. Now, pushing to why I've been consistent in this space, it's because this is it's a new space. It's been over 10 years now. I say maybe 10. It should be 10 or more since the Web3 space has been. And there's been times, there's been season, there's been different go run and all, but
Anyone,
it is still very
OJ?
much a new.
Okay,
Yeah, can
I'm
you hear
so
me?
sorry, I got disconnected. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, it's still very much a new industry, and it's gonna be the best for those that are able to build and gain their voice early at this
Mm-hmm.
point in time that later on it's still very brand new. So that is the hope that is keeping me going. Like, okay, I've been able to build myself to a point where I know I am a voice in this space, and then people look up to me, and I know it's still an opportunity to keep building, keep creating impact or making impact and keep pushing basically. So that's been my major drive.
Okay, so there's been stumbling blocks. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're glitching.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
can hear
there's
you now, but
been
you're glitching.
there's obviously been stumbling blocks, and I wouldn't know what they are, but what has been those turning points to which you just be like, oh, I'm happy I started what I started, or should I have started this? What are those turning points that you've had whilst on this journey?
Okay, as I said, I didn't start Web3 with content creation in view. I didn't even start, I ventured into the Web3 space, let's say because of curiosity, basically. But first of all I wanted to do was learn how to trade the financial market. And then moved to an academy where I had the responsibility of being the head there. Then I decided to dive into what DeFi is and what Web3 is. Now, along that line, I decided to find a way to express myself in the space. And how best do I do that than what I've always had passion for, which is content creation. So building blocks on the way as first off, for every creator in this space, unless your dad is Dangote, one major stumbling block has been tools and equipment. A good phone, which is like even the list before moving to a camera, your lighting setup, and
All
that's
right.
that's number one. Number two is creating consistently and knowing you are good at this craft and nobody is seeing you. You're not getting any deals. You just know you are good. There's no deals. There's nothing coming in. That's another stumbling block. And the third stumbling block basically is now in the aspect of skill. Now there's a place of having all you need. There's a place of upscaling. A lot Upscaling is not as easy as people see it or make it feel like. It takes a lot for you to learn again. It takes a lot for you to decide to sit down, acquire more knowledge to make sure your craft is better than what it is. So this year specifically, I've been trying to explore other ways of creating content more in the Web3 space. And it's taking a lot. It is not as easy as it seems because trying to remove what you know before and trying to impute that things, try and error and all, it might seem easy, but really, that's a stumbling block. That is why people give up. You see, like your content is not pushing, the meta has changed but you
Yeah.
don't have the tenacity to put in the work to make sure you move with the trend. It's a stumbling block. And it's only those who are able to understand that you need to do better than you are doing right now. Those are those, I mean, these are the people who would continue to be in the space, basically, and benefit from whatever opportunity the space is providing.
Well, yes, and basically it sums it up as finance, right? A lot of it is summed up in the section on finance, and we all
No,
know
no, no.
how.
Finance is there. Their finance is just one of the four I mentioned. It
Yeah,
can
I
still
get it.
be.
But I wanted to be specify on it because I think a number of women, if they're to sit and ask questions, they will tell you they are ready. Oh, it's just phone, it's just camera, it's just this. And to be able to get this, you need like you need funding to be able to do that. Because I've had people come and tell me, oh, if not that they don't have good phone and good camera, they would have started what they wanted to start since. So yes, I was
Mhm.
intentional about picking it amongst the list because that's what we women we know how money moves us. You get we know how money moves us. So it's one of the first things you are going to talk about. Oh, I have everything. It's just I have every other thing. It is in my voice. I have good voice. I have good background. I have this, but I don't have a camera, which um or I don't have a good phone or until I buy an iPhone 17 before I can or a Sony digital camera and all that. So we a lot of people can one of the major thing they will tell you is just funding or maybe they want to pay for the course in which maybe the tutor is going to teach them how to like dive deeper into content creation, onto video editing, onto being a creative, steps and guidelines. So in a way, finance is still like one of the major, like it could be one of the major factor or stumbling block for people like before they are able to like pick up their journey and be where they are, right? And that's why I wanted to like emphasize on it, aside the other things you mentioned. But it's a crazy journey, I would say, because one thing I love about watching creative, because I'm one myself, just like my specialty is in painting artworks. I love seeing the growth process. I love seeing how it's you start with almost nothing, and little by little you are learning, and things get better for you. Is it the way you write? Is it the way you teach or talk? Is it the way your videos are looking? There is going to be vast, like so much vast growth. In fact, even when you teach, like when the first time that I thought about DeFi, it's different from how I teach about DeFi now, because there is way like much knowledge and all that. So one of the beautiful things I love about the creative process is just the creator's growth. I admire it so much, and it's one of the reasons why you were one of the first persons of my mind on this, because I would love to say that I've watched you grow. I've watched, I mean, one of your first set of contents, I used to comment on it and say, oh, I love this, but there's been
Yeah,
so
you did.
much
You did.
growth. And I'm happy that even with all of these things that would have caused issues or would have made you, want to step back, you still try to move forward, and it's so amazing. I think I remember one time, it's either your equipment got bad or it got stolen. There was like an issue then. Do you remember? I was
Yeah, yeah.
asking
My
you.
my lights, my lights
Said that,
fell. I was trying to shoot, and my lights
so
fell,
I
and it
knew
broke.
something got bad. I just did not know the storyline, but just to show you that I'm not stalking you, but at least I see some of the things
No,
you have been
no.
doing.
I
Even
thought you're my idolo now. You're my idolo.
so I see some of the things and I'm like, okay, I like this, and I'm just watching how you're scaling through. Okay, so that will lead me to the next question before I leave the table for you to talk. At what point do you realize that content creation generally was something you wanted to take seriously in Web3? I know
Okay.
you
So
did it before you transitioned, but specifically in Web3, let's be about that.
okay. So for me, why I said I started Web3, not really be content, but because I wanted to learn how to trade the financial market. And from that, it pushed me into learning about DeFi and Web3. So now, in the season when NFTs were 18, I was not really into, I was not really active then. So I was not running around trying to mint this NFT, mint that NFT. All I was doing was trying to rack up jobs and all. But then it got to a point where everybody was trying to express themselves and try to pour out knowledge of what they know in the space. And for me, I have not really been a good writer. Yes. I have not really been a good writer. And at that point, the amount of people into video creation was minute. I could point to two, three people that were creating content as at then. I think that was in 2023. I can remember I started creating content with three in November of 2023. Was it? Yes, November of 2023. And a lot of people were not creating content then. And why? Why was because there was still the notion of not being doxxed. Notion of I am aside from even there were other creators, there were white creators who could actually come out and show their faces. That is that. Aside from the fact that the space does not really encourage you coming out to show your face, that's one. The second is the fact that for us blacks, people don't want to really interact with us in the space because of our skin. Everybody's hiding behind the PFP. Now coming out to show your face, it's like it takes another kind of bravery. But for me, I've not really been a good writer as that. So I felt like, what's the best way to express myself and share this knowledge I've had in this space than through what I've really had passion for, which was content creation. So I just started. I just took what I had at the moment and I just started shooting. I could remember I started shooting with sunlight. I only shoot in the day when the sun is pretty up. I just window and I put my phone there and then I just shoot. And I just started learning how to edit by the side. So that was what made that was it for me. It was the hunger to basically express myself and like tell people what I know and try to preach the gospel of Web3 and how it's sorry, I'm going to take that again. Revolutionizing the internet and basically. So that was the drive for me. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So I I think I want to now leave you to share what you have for us today.
Hey, I
I've,
can hear you. I can
I've
hear you very well.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it's a bit
Am
low.
I audible enough? Or do I use
If
my
you
own
could increase
headset
a
to have
bit,
been going without the headset? Um,
yeah,
do I
I can
go
hear you
with my
clearly
own
now.
headset or it's audible now?
Yeah, you're audible now. You're audible now.
Okay, awesome. I won't have to wear the everything on my head. Okay, now I'm saying I was actually saying I want to leave the floor for you to say one or two things, guide us, talk about your experience, whatever alphas we need to know relating to what you do. Please do share. You have about some minutes to be able to share with us, and we're all ears. You have our
Okay,
audience.
thank you very. Okay, can you hear me? I'm trying to make sure I can hear when I'm
Yes,
talking.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
so
audible enough.
good evening, everybody. Once again, amazing ladies and gentlemen. There's supposed to be more ladies here because this is women in DeFi.
Special,
I
yes, so you need to give special greeting for the ladies, especially when they come back to the record.
exactly. Exactly. I know I need to give special greetings to all of you. To the ladies, thank you for having me. Because if you guys said you guys don't want Uji, Uji won't be here. And thank God I've not done anything to make any woman call me out and say a woman in the fire is going to be like, no, we don't want that guy. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So for me, I'm just gonna try to flow. I prepared a slide, but I'll put that on later on. So I'll just flow through how it's been, and one of the most important things how to start when it comes to content creation, even before upscaling. Before you start,
Trying to get
it's
where
evolve.
your screen. Sorry. Can you see a
I,
present or something
I can hear
from your
you. Come
side?
again. Can I see what?
Can you see a slide presentation format on your side from your side?
Yes, yes, yes. I see slide. I can
Do
add
you think you
slides
can
here.
now? Okay, okay. Yeah, please
Yeah.
go ahead now. You can go ahead.
Do this. So I say for I was gonna start with sorry, I'm trying to catch my train of thoughts back. So I'm gonna start with what everybody has felt like is like the major issue starting out. Number one. It's enough, it's one thing. First off, I'm going to like put this out there. Everybody does not have to be a video content creator, but everybody is a creator. What do I mean? One way or the other, you are creating something that people are going to basically use. Either you are writing, either you're designing, either you are doing any other thing. You're basically creating for others to see. So if you are into now content creation, which is videos, there are a lot of we talked about the stumbling blocks. But one thing that you need to understand is the earlier you start, the better it gets. The earlier you start, the better it gets. So you worrying about you don't have this equipment, you don't have that equipment, you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't think you have the right skill. It's just going to pull you down, and it's going to just keep wasting your time to when you're able to do the main thing. So first off, you want to go into this. Now clear your mind about what you have and what you don't have, and just get started. No matter the kind of mobile phone you have, as long as your mobile phone is able to record a video, and even if your phone is as bad as it gets, I started with an Android phone. I started with this is the Android phone I started with. It is pretty much jacked up right now. This is the Android phone I started with, and from there I got an iPhone and I began to upscale. So it only gets better when you start. It doesn't get better when you don't start, unless you have a way of basically getting funds later on. And the most important thing is, even if you get the funds later on, you're still going to have to go through the process of getting good at the crafts. Let me explain. Someone that has a Samsung, I don't know much about Samsung phones. Let's say someone that has a
I
Redmi
do. You're
10C.
talking. You want to? Do you want to talk about a very good one?
I'm talking about like a least one and then compare it to an high-end iPhone.
Okay.
Say someone that has a
You can
Samsung,
say
let's say
a
Samsung,
series.
let's say someone that has the Samsung S series, and that person has started creating content
Okay.
since last year, January. Then OJ now get an iPhone 17 in January of this year. If I create a video this year and the person that started creating last year with an S7, if they put our videos together, it's not going to look the same. What do I mean? You can see, you might be able to see the quality in the videos, but no, it's not going to look the same because the person that started last year with the S's, I mean the X series, already has a lot of back testing done. This person has shot this video and seen that this video does not look good. It goes back, shoot again. Ah, the issue in this video is my lightning. It goes back, shoot again. Oh, the issue in this video is my audio. Goes back, shoot again, and come back. But the person that has a 17 just believes, okay, I have a 17 and let me start shooting. It just shoots and it doesn't really understand the know-hows of how to create content. It doesn't know where to put the phone. It doesn't know where to put the lightning. You don't know how to deal with this. But the person that has been creating with 1 year ago with the X series has gathered enough back testing. I mean, has gathered enough proof of work or has tried things out, and then that person can basically say, okay, I'm getting better at this. And obviously, from that 1 year interval, no matter how bad it is, something must have gone good, and he has been able to like get one thing or basically make an improvement in their tools collection. So it's not about when you start, it is about how fast you start. I mean when you start basically. It's you don't need to wait for when you have all the tools completely. You just need to basically start with what you have. And now it's what goes beyond starting with what you have, which is your equipment, is skill. As long as you want to, if you want to become a video editor, if you want to become a content creator, especially a video content creator, one thing you need to have at the back of your mind is you are going to become a video editor, either you like it or not, unless you have the money to outsource it. And if you have the money to outsource it, that's good. But if you don't, you need to have at the back of your mind you are going to learn how to video editing. One thing that makes everybody stand out is video editing as a creator. You can have the worst video. I'm serious. You can have the worst video. The least thing you do is turn it to black and white. No matter how bad your video is, if you turn it to black and white, nobody's going to say your video does not look well. Then your editing now comes in to play the trick and make your video come out better than a random person, even better than someone that has an iPhone 16 or a 17 or even a camera. So your skill, knowing how to edit your video, is one thing that is going to put you ahead of others. Another thing is what we call cinematography. Cinematography has to do with how you light your videos and all. How you light your videos, how you position your videos, if you position your videos in the frame, like that. Some people now, you see my video, my head is basic. If you're watching on like, this is in landscape format and my video is a bit to the side. If you watch on people's video, let's say this is a screen now, and obviously as a human being, my eye is always directed to the middle of this phone, not up here and not down here. Someone that has not been creating for a year, that just decided to start creating content today, might just record with his iPhone 17. Recording with his iPhone 17, his head could be here. And that's a lot of stress because as a creator, your video, your eye line needs to be at the middle of the frame. So you only get to know this by wanting to know more, by wanting to go into video editing and knowing into video editing, cinematography, understanding how to position your camera and even how to control your lighting. You can have the best. I made a video. You can check on my YouTube page and on my X page. I made a video on the various lighting setups of what I think I did from zero to about $500. The zero I did, which is basically your window lighting, was a very perfect shot. All you needed to do was just sit in front of the window and make sure it's daylight. That is the only barrier you're going to be having. You're not going to be able to shoot at night, but you know what you are starting with and you know where you are and you are the driver, you know what you are fighting for. That should not be a discouragement for you. You get to start the day, you shoot your videos in front of the sun, open your windows, shoot your video in front of the sun, and it all looks good. And then you go into editing and you fix a couple of things. Another thing that now we've covered starting, which is you just need to start. Next thing, you need to upskill. It is one thing to know how to shoot videos, another thing to know how to edit. As I said, you can outsource editing, But for somebody that is starting out, and I know it's not as if you have all the old money in the world, you would need to do it yourself. And the minimal you learn how to do, the least you learn how to do improves your video by 10x. Trust me. Because example, what do I mean by the least you learn how to do improves the video by 10x is if someone that does not know how to shoot, as I said, the example of framing your video in the middle of the frame and below, someone that starts shooting today frames his video below the frame. You that has been shooting for a while, you frame your video at the right position. Your video is 10x better than that person that frames his video outside of the frame. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So trying to learn one viable way to make your video better makes your video 10x better. So next thing, okay, I've covered starting, I've covered upscaling, which is very, very important. You need to be able to you need to have an edge, basically. You need to have an edge, and everybody does not need to be a performer. Yeah. Now everybody's pushing into cinematography basically because storytelling is like now the norm of the day, but you don't really need to move with that trend. You can do your storytelling your way. You can communicate your ideas your way. You don't need to go with the trend. So now moving to the next thing before I quickly just run through my slide that says positioning yourself as a content creator. Another thing you need to know is collaboration. Not even collaboration, is have someone you look up to and you need to consume a lot of content. Number one, have someone you look up to in the sense that it's when you have someone you want to be like, not really, really be like. I'm going to use the word be like. If you have someone you want to be like, someone that is very, very good in their craft, and you feel like this person is really, really good at what they do, I really want my video to be as nice as this person. Every step of your way, every step of the way, you try to make your video look like that person, and that way your video is getting better and you are beginning to get your own style at the way. From when you're trying to replicate this person's effects, you're trying to replicate this person's sound design, you are getting a piece of what is you. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. You get better by replicating, obviously. So from replicating other people's work, you see somebody does an effect this day to like a hook in this video, and you try to recreate it. That hook might not work for you, but from trying it out, you get something that is going to work for you, and your understanding gets widened, and you feel like, okay, this does not work for me. This would work for me. And finally, you need to consume a lot of content as a creator. As a creator, not consuming content is your downfall. You need to have a list of content you need to have a list on Instagram, have a list on TikTok, and you make sure you tailor your content as a content creator, especially for the Web3 space. Now, there's one thing I'm going to state. Ideas from anywhere can be used anywhere. What do I mean? Ideas from the fashion world can be replicated in the Web3 space and it is going to boom. This is what I'm trying to say. Most of the best ads that's been created, most of the best piece of works that's been created were basically ideas taken from one place and repurposed to one place and then it booms up. So making sure your consumption will I say circle or will I say scope is widened is very important. Consume as much content as you can and also create list on Instagram. That is on Instagram, TikTok, X. That is really going to help you. You're scrolling on X or Instagram and you see, okay, this is a nice concept this person is trying out. You save it. When you are editing or you're trying to shoot, you go through that content and you try to replicate the same thing and try to incorporate one or two things from that person's content that makes your content better overall. So I'm just going to try to run through the slide I prepared. So it says positioning yourself as a content creator in the Web3 space. And what we're going to be covering is your story is your strategy, finding your niche, monetization and opportunity, and then there's a 3-step action plan you can use to get started today. So this says if someone scans through your X page right now, would they know you're Web3 creative? You're a Web3 creative, but you are the same person that is retweeting the post from. I don't know a lot of Nigerian influencers on TikTok, Nigerian influencers on X, those banger boys. Yes, you are supposed to be a Web3 creator, but you're the one retweeting this person's tweets that is saying this person. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not really in that circle, so I don't know what they post because my timeline is a bit created. But you're the one reposting those tweets. Then somebody you then post a video. Somebody's like, oh, this person did amazing work. Let me go to the person's page and see what the person created. And it's the first post that comes after your video is you reposting one Nigerian influencer's post. Reposting their post is not the problem, but when someone goes to your page and that is what they are seeing, somebody is going to your page and what they are seeing is you reposting giveaways. I think you might want to participate in giveaways, but you should make sure that the page you are trying to use to build as a person in Web3 is different from the one you want to use to engage the wide broad of audience or wide broad of people on X. When you want someone to come into your page or your space and understand that this is what this person is doing, this is what this person is for, this is what I can get this person to do for me. Now, okay, now your story is your strategy. Now, this is somebody before the person has no clear identity in Web3, is the same person that does videos, is the same person that writes, is the same person that does design, is the same person that creates this, that creates that. That's not a bad thing, but there's a way to balance everything. You're creating content without direction. You just feel like, okay, this is trending, let me jump on it. That is trending, let me jump on it. This is trending, you jump on it. It is also very difficult for you to stand out in a noisy place. Everybody is creating videos. Why do you want to create videos? What is going to make you stand out? And then most importantly, the person that has no brand deals and there's no opportunity coming in. Then the after, you now know what Web3 content you are now known as a Web3 content strategist and a creative from you not having a clear identity in Web3. Now you now own DeFi education plus a creative niche direction from someone without having direction. Let me go over it again. Before, this person is creating it without direction, but now this person is known as somebody that is into DeFi education or someone that has creative direction as a niche. Now, the next one is brands and projects are beginning to reach out to you because they find out that this person has something to offer to us. And finally, your positioning is clear, your audience is clear, and your value is clear. One thing I'm going to say, everybody is not your audience. As much as we're pushing mainstream adoption, everybody has their audience. Your audience might be a more niched kind of people. You might be the person that tries to not break down DeFi terms or stuffs. You have your own audience because not everybody understands the complexity of DeFi. Yours might be to break it down for newbies. Yours might be to just talk about what is happening in the news, the new metas. That could be your own audience. You could have audience or people in that niche. Moving on now, what positioning actually means. This does not just tie you to Web3. First of all, you need to know who you are helping. Two, you need to know the problem you are solving. And then number three, how only you solves that problem. Number one, you need to know who you are helping. Two, you need to know the problem you're solving. And then finally, how only you solves a problem. Now, storytellers win. Says the market is noisy and creators who win aren't the most technical, they're the most relatable and specific. Somebody said something and it has been ringing my mind for a couple of months here now. I was on a live and Belly Cruz. I don't know if you know Belly Cruz. He said something that I have always held on to. We were complaining about they were complaining about videos not getting views. And he said something and said, people don't watch your videos because they want to watch your videos. They watch your videos if they can relate to your videos. Relatability is very important. Why do you think these memes of somebody eating just all these random comedy booms? It's because people can relate to it. It is because it is relatable. If I am a random person and you're just telling and you just slide through my timeline, you're telling me complex data sheet, I am going to be forced to scroll because it does not relate to me. There's no way you are trying to relate it to me. So you need to find a way to make sure your content is relatable to whoever is watching. And this differs by your audience. I am not gonna lie. Now, being in versus being known. Being in, sorry, being in versus being known. So Web3 needs voices that understands the space, speak human, and being known beats being present. What do I mean? Being popular is subsidiary to being known for one thing. You could be popular as a creator, but people don't know what exactly you do. They can't a Web3 brand cannot randomly go and employ Kata Efe to come and push their brand, unless let's say they're trying to like bring in the masses for like say they have a payment platform and stuff like that. You can let me you a DeFi aggregator cannot employ Kata Efe to push their brand. The Kata is popular, but it is not in the space. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, moving to specificality equals power. So a vague creator is invisible, and then the sharper your positioning is, the faster the right opportunities that finds you. If you position your tent in the face of the right set of people, that is how you get find faster. As I was saying before, you're the one retweeting all the Nigerian influencers and all the comedy shit they are saying. Do you know doing that only puts your content in that region? There's no way people or brands outside will see your work. It's who you interact with on X that gets to see your content. So if you don't put your content in the face of the right people, if you don't position yourself in the face of the right people, opportunities are not going to find you. So moving to so okay, this is a three-part niche formula. So you have your angle, you have Web3 topic, and you have a specific audience. Now, your angle, let's say this person is a beginner friendly, this person creates beginner friendly explanations. And then the topic, Jesus, the topic this person is trying to break down is DeFi protocols and news. And then the specific audience of this person is Nigerian professionals. Now, there are two ways this person is going to there are two ways, these are two examples of how this person is going to break down this. Now, this number one says is a beginner friendly DeFi breakdowns for Nigerian professionals. The next one says Web3 content. What type of Web3 content? Who is your Web3 content for? What are you talking about in your Web3 content? There's no audience, there's no specific audience, there's no angle, and there's no reason to even follow you or come back to your videos. The first one explicitly break it down. You have your angle, you have your topic, and you have your specific audience. The person says is a beginner-friendly it does beginner-friendly DeFi breakdowns for Nigeria professionals. So if someone enters your page and they see, okay, this one is a it does DeFi breakdowns for Nigeria professionals, do you understand? Rather than just coming to your page and they just see Web3 content. Web3 content about what? Web3 content for who and all that shit. So you need to understand all this. Now, five viable Web3 content niches right now. So we have DeFi education, which comprises of protocols, yield strategies, wallets, everything that has to do with DeFi education. Then we have on-chain research, data-driven content, alpha analytic tools. Then we have the NFT ecosystem. We all know NFTs are not really doing good, but it's still a niche. NFT and creating economy for artists, builders, and digital first creators. And then we have crypto for everyday life. I've been trying to push this very well this couple of months. Crypto for everyday life, which involves payments, savings, remittance, and these are a huge market in Africa, the African market. In the last 3 years, Nigerians have spent Africans in the wide scope have spent trillions of dollars in stable coins payments back and forth, either for payments, either for remittance, either for purchases online. stablecoin payment has become a thing in Africa. And those people that are making sure there's a means for adoption for people to come in are going to get a large share of the brand deals, or basically of the projects wanting to move in that direction. And finally, we have Web3 career navigation. You want to be the person that is going to be informing people about the Web3 opportunities, the grants, the ecosystem guides for newcomers, the kind of job you can apply for. This is how to position for these jobs, and all. This is a niche for that. So, as I said earlier, this is 5 viable ways. These are 5 viable Web3 content niches you can try to explore right now. And then the niche test. Before you dive into a niche, you need to answer this question: can I talk about this specifically for 6 months without burning out? Because your consistency is your biggest competitive advantage rather, and your passion sustains it. What you don't have passion for, you basically just, your fuel runs out and you can't move forward. Second is there an audience that actively needs this explained? Is there a demand for this information? And finally, am I saying something nobody else is saying clearly? If everybody is saying the same thing, what is making my own difference? What is making people think about me instead of others? You don't need to be the first. Starting out content creation, there were just a couple of creators, two people I can point to. And for me, I felt like, I don't even feel like OJ is coming to copy them. But I felt like, no, I can carve out my own specifics. Then I came in and I made sure my video stood out. And someone that watches my video and does know that, okay, these people offer different value points. Moving forward, and these are 4 ways Web3 creators can get paid. Number one, you can get paid from brand deals and sponsorship. You can get paid from bounties and campaigns, from projects, community consulting, and creator-owned products. You can be creating newsletters, paid community guides that require people to pay. And then moving forward is okay, the mindset shift. You don't need to be famous. This is what I was saying with the Kata Efe scenario. You don't need to be famous. You need to be findable by the right set of people. Again, you don't need to be famous. You just be findable by the right set of people. So one clear niche gets you further than 5 vague ones. It means that once people know you for one thing, people can attribute that thing to you than 5 other things you're doing. And consistent quality on one platform beats your scattered presence everywhere. And then finally, your content is your portfolio, and every post is an audition. Every post you make counts. Every post you make, it counts. The quality, the everything, basically, the sound design, the audio, everything counts. And then, so this is 3 steps for you to get started this week. You need to, first of all, write your positioning statement. I make content dash for who? I make this kind of content, and this is my audience. And okay, I'm coming again. Let me just read through first. I make dash content type for this audience who wants this outcome without this pain. A very vivid example. I make stablecoin content for people who want to know how to spend stablecoins and who want ease while spending crypto without worrying about converting to naira and all. Again, I make I make coming I make I make payment videos for people who want to learn how to spend their crypto without worrying about converting to naira and other shit. So run through this. I make content. Which type of content do you make? Who are your audience? What is the outcome you want to offer to them? And the major pain you're trying to push away from the table. Pick one platform and pick one format. You can start with X. You can start with YouTube explainers. You can start with short videos. Pick one and go deep for 90 days. And finally, publish one piece this week. This week has ended already. It's Thursday and tomorrow is Friday. You can still try to push something out this week. So we need more voices like yours, people who understand the space but can speak human, not all the complex gibberish we have in DeFi. And the opportunity is real. The only question is, will you take your seat at the table, women in DeFi family? So thank you for coming with me. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. Oh, that was
Thank you
awesome.
very, very much, OJ. I've learned a thing of too as someone who wants to be creating video content but in art. I've started anyway. It's not really glamorous, but I've niched down to as much as I'm still active in the Web3 space, my video content are relating to my art process, and I've picked more than two, three things from this on how to go about it, what consistency would look like, and yes, I used to have this. I know I'm just starting, but I used to have this anxiousness of how many people were going to like and follow through, be expectant of the next video. But you said something about you don't need to be famous, you need to be findable by the right set of people. And it's a very, very important it's actually a very, very important um to live up to, because like I said, I've kept wondering, people be expectant of the next videos, and surprisingly, when I don't drop, or as I've not dropped a second one this week, I've had people contact me. Oh, I'm expecting your next video. I want to see the next art you're up to. I want to see your next process. I want to see your next think piece about something relating to the art space. And it's been wonderful, because when I first started, I was just wondering, how will people relate? How will people, because most of the people I've had around my corner, people that are in finance, specifically Web3. When we talk Web3, is basically the most things people talk about is finance, or what we can relate with
Yeah.
finance. So I've been thinking, so how do I create a new audience and all that? It's been a slow process, but it's been wonderful. And like I said, I've learned a thing or two here that I'll be able to apply. There at some point I'll still come and disturb you. I've just not gotten to that step.
I'm waiting. I'm always
Yeah.
waiting.
So you've you've said what some of the things I've started to apply. Find an edge, consume a lot of content. I have so many bookmarks on TikTok and IG on how to, people I love their style in creating art videos, and I'm like, I need to emulate this. Mind you, I'm not really good at editing, right? But what I'm learning now is just setting my camera, then maybe work with a video editor or whatever. But I'm setting my camera to like capture the painting process, the art process, and what have you. And my mode of even setting the camera is not just coming natural, it's just from the content I've consumed. I've seen the angles where their videos are
Exactly.
coming from, slow shot, the different angles on how to make the videos look interesting. I wouldn't have known this if I've not followed a lot of people on TikTok,
Consumed.
on IG. My FYP for TikTok and Instagram is basically art videos. You would always see me retweet, comment, ask questions, follow these people, even learn how to use black magic camera. I hope you know about that, right? For iPhone.
Yeah. I know
I have
about
not
the black
lived
magic
that
camera.
I have done bookmarks or posts, and it's just because I find it interesting and it's what I want to like base in.
that's
And
that
really,
that's the passion that keeps creators going. Once you have the
exactly,
passion for it, you just find other things that attract you and you try to implement and get better those stuffs.
exactly, and that's what I've been doing. And the talk today has just made me know that I'm in the right direction. So quickly before we end this, we have questions from people. Okay, I'm seeing one by Rajit Tosin, and the question goes: please, what platforms can you recommend to learn video editing as a beginner creator? So you
Okay.
have the
So first off, there are other platforms. The most easiest platform everybody has opportunity to is YouTube. YouTube. YouTube has all the resources you want. All you need to do is just know how to prompt well, and you know what you want to learn. The thing you want to do, I have a couple of videos on my page as well, but I have not really done an in-depth tutorial on how to edit videos. I am going to be doing, I think from next 2 weeks or next week, I'm going to be having a live stream where I'll be teaching video editing, and I'll pass it across um to Vic, and hopefully you guys can be there as well. So it's going to be live sessions like this where I'll be trying to teach people what's the basis of video editing and try to make people get onboarded into it. As I said, YouTube is the best place for you to get or whatever knowledge you need. Trust me, with YouTube, you don't need to even pay anybody. I'm not joking. All the knowledge you need, or you need to pay someone, but you don't really need to pay someone. I'm saying it again. All the knowledge you need are on YouTube. You just need to know how to put it out. There are thousands of videos on YouTube on how to edit videos, how to do your lighting and everything. You just need to know how to prompt out or what to ask for. So basically, that's it.
All right. So thank you very much. I hope whoever asked that question is satisfied. So before we go, I'll just need you to from you could see a comment section on your end, right? So just type out
Yes.
your TikTok and maybe your YouTube, the username so that people can be able to maybe subscribe or follow you and get to
Okay.
learn more things consistently. Then while you're doing that, right, you talked about something which in DeFi we can refer to as the simulation strategy. You talked about ideas from anywhere can be used anytime, and it's more like bringing in idea you know about one section and putting it
Yeah.
into the other section. Now I want to ask, whilst you're trying to do that, has AI been of great benefit to you, trying to bring in these ideas and how to implement them and all that? Has AI been very beneficial to you relating to that?
Yeah, AI has been very beneficial, and most important, I'm still trying to learn how to incorporate AI basically into my crafts. I've seen a couple of creators do that, and it's been going amazingly well. And I'm still trying to understand where I want to put it into and where I want to incorporate it into. With AI, you can have, I mean, you can have worst videos, and it even makes it better for you. You can have worst sounding audio, and I said sounding, Jesus. You can have the worst audio, and it makes it better for you. And yeah, AI is an amazing tool that's making creativity have no limits. With AI now, you do not even need to have a high amount of it to create masterpieces. It's cool. Another thing AI has been is very beneficial to is helping you to understand various concepts. Now I make use of Claude. I started making use of Claude a couple of months
Okay.
ago, and I discovered that you can tailor Claude to help you run a content strategy, a content strategy, and it makes it into like a website. Not, will I say a website, but I would say like a functional website in between where you can go back and pick, run through ideas. You can even make it run tests for you, and it is just mind blowing. I don't know. When I hear people say, I am this kind of person, I have this mantra that says, I do not let stuffs I cannot control bother me. If I know I can't control this, I can't manage this, I just leave it as it is. So when everybody's saying AI is taking job, is doing this, just like, okay, let's leave it. So why don't I just find how I can incorporate this AI into my crafts? I make my crafts better, what I can learn from this, what acts I can outsource to the AI itself than carrying everything on my own head. And it has been amazing. AI is basically one tool that is making creators basically, in fact, anyone have the ability to reach beyond their skill, their scope. Of course, you need to have a starting point. Then the AI helps you to broaden it and makes things easier for you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Ajay. We really appreciate your presence, the important things you have dished out. Like I, for one, as a host, I've learned a couple of things. I wrote them down. Like my when my eyes were not on the screen, I was basically writing out points. I mean, it's here things that
I don't need
learned,
teach. I don't need teach my teacher.
things I've learned so far. Like I'm telling
I'm
you,
so
you are going to
elated.
see much improvement, and I'm going to come to your DM because I really want to. I mean, look at the difference
I've
in
been
our
waiting.
setup. Look at the difference in our setup. Anyway,
I've
just
been waiting. I've been waiting. I've
I,
been waiting.
I really enjoyed this session. I really
Thank you for
enjoyed
having
it,
me.
and
I
I
am
hope
I'm so glad. Thank you for
you're
really
welcome.
having me.
I hope other
It's an
people would
opportunity to be here.
come to testify. or say give testimonies or feedbacks on what they've learned here,
Yes,
because
so
obviously,
please, I want your feedbacks. I want you to start creating,
yeah, you know,
and I want you guys to be. I want you said,
I
and I
said we'll
want
see
you
more
guys.
WID people creating like
Sure,
soonest.
sure,
You'll
sure.
see
Let's go.
them
Let's go. And I
on
want you. I
screen.
want you guys to be on my streams where I'll be teaching editing as well. So thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I have
God
the chat
bless you.
pinned here, your YouTube. So obviously they will be there. We'll put out an announcement in our Discord communities and WhatsApp. So expect to have a few women. And please treat them right when they come. All right, so I'm just kidding still. Thank you very much for coming. It's already
Thank
8
you very
p.m.
much, Vic.
And we
Thank
say
you,
we're
women,
going to
DeFi, amazing women. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you people
you're
this night.
very
I really
welcome.
appreciate the opportunity.
See you guys next month and thank you all for coming. Goodbye.
Bye.